Should the buyer pay for the seller's agent, known as the listing agent's commission? Well, we just had a situation where the seller asked the buyer to pay for the buyer's agent commission and for their listing agent's commission. The buyer rejected that, of course, and ultimately the seller paid for their own agent. However, I just kind of want to use this as an example of what's happening in the marketplace since all the rules changed in 2024, right? Where all of a sudden the commission wasn't figured out up front. It wasn't part of the listing like it used to be, right? Now a seller signs a contract with their listing agent and a buyer signs a contract with their buyer's agent, and then the buyer's agent commission gets negotiated in contract. Well, I guess in theory a seller could try to negotiate buyer paying their commission, but does that really make sense? Not really. The best way to do things, instead of focusing and worrying about who pays which fee, who pays which agent, is focus on your net, right? Have escrow provide you a net sheet breaking down all the costs line by line and see what you actually receive at the end of the day. If the number that on the offer nets you what you want, does it really matter who pays who? If it doesn't net you what you want, I wouldn't even worry about who's paying who's paying what fees, just counter back on price. As long as you net what you want, that's ultimately all that matters. So try not to get hung up on the who's going to pay for what and who's going to pay who. Just focus on making sure that you walk away with the net dollar amount that you're trying to achieve for your future. If you've had any of this type of experience happening where sellers have asked for the buyer to pay for listing agent commission, drop your story below.